Hi, and welcome to Untethered with Jenless, the podcast that's here to help you free yourself from the tethers that are holding you back, unleash your inner brilliance, and claim the life you're meant to live. I'm your host, Jen, and today we're going to talk about finding confidence even when you're right at your edge. Let's dive in. Hey there, friends. It's Jen. Welcome to this Thursday thread. I am Thursday threading it from my own episode that came out on Tuesday. But I have to tell you, yesterday I kissed a llama and I really liked it. My husband's company party was yesterday and they had 2 llamas there. And apparently they used to have a llama and an alpaca, and the alpaca died, which is so sad. But these were the sweetest llamas. I don't know if you've ever seen a llama in the wild, but they are not necessarily sweet. I definitely got bit by a llama in Peru on Machu Picchu that I attempted to hug. He was not very happy about that, but these were very tame llamas, and they allowed you to feed the llama a carrot from your mouth. And as someone who has had a slight llama trauma, I had a moment of, I'm not sure if I should do this, but I did it. And it was very sweet. It just so gently took the carrot from my mouth. And then she took pictures that look like I'm kissing it. So fun. So moral of this story, if you ever get a chance to kiss a tame llama, do it. Do not kiss one on Machu Picchu. They are not fans. They don't want your kisses. They don't want your love. Because they're probably like llama badasses living up there on Machu Picchu. Like they are like, no, I don't need kisses. I'm like fighting for my life up here on this giant cliff. Anywho, today I want to talk to you about courage and confidence. I had such a great question from a coaching client this week, and it's such an important conversation. And it feels so relevant to what I did this past weekend, what I talked about on Tuesday, which is bungee jumping. And one of the points that I made on Tuesday is that we're always coming up against an edge. And my edge happened to be the moment that I leapt off of the surface that I was on, off of the platform. But we're all doing this all the time, especially if you're learning and you're growing. So the question that my client had was, does this feeling of disbelief, does this feeling that maybe I can't do it, does this feeling ever go away? And it's a 2-part answer to this very good question. And I also understand it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And we want that part of us to just go away that is telling us we can't do things. That piece of us that doubts us, we want to tell it to just go away. We want to push it away. We want to be like, I want to get rid of you. I want to carve you out. Like, please go away. And the more we actually push against that piece of us, the stronger it gets. It's like resistance. It's like that bungee cord where it's like you're like pulling against it so hard and it just flings right back. And so the solution is to accept that piece of ourselves and to welcome it and to be like, I see you. Yeah, I see you. Thank you so much for being there to tell me that this is something that I should be maybe taking stock about. This is something that maybe I should think about a little bit. Do I want to do this? And then you get the choice to say, yes, indeed, I do, and move forward. And these kinds of things are happening to us all the time. So does that piece of ourselves completely go away ever? No. It's part of who you are as a human being. It's there for you to have the check. Do I want to jump off this bridge? Is this a bridge that I am prepared, that I'm making an active decision to jump off of? Because if you are stretching yourself, if you are growing, if you are pushing yourself, if you are really expanding in this life, and you are just stretching into new horizons and you're doing courageous things, you're gonna come up against that edge. And you're going to have to make the decision to jump. And it's going to be scary. And you're going to have doubt creep in. Can I do this? Should I do this? What's going to happen if I do this? Those are normal questions. And it's a good thing. If you're facing some of these questions, that means you're growing. You're growing. That's awesome. Look at you. You're about to bungee jump off this bridge. Look at you go. You can do it. and you can make that decision to leap. And here's the thing, it's always there. So I know that might sound like bad news, but it's really not, because this piece of yourself is just there as a flag. It's just a signal to say, oh, cool, there's actually something that I really want here. It's like we've talked about that on this podcast before. Everything that you want is on the other side of fear. So when doubt creeps in, doubt is a fear-based feeling. So when doubt creeps in, it's like, oh, there's some fear here. There must be something that I really want. Must be time to take a leap. And we also get to check in with ourselves and say, do I want to leap? Is this something that I really want to do? 9 times out of 10, yes. 9 times out of 10, yes. And here's the thing. We want to have the confidence before we leap. We want to have that full-bodied self-belief before we leap. And yes, we can shift into that. You can choose belief over doubt. You can choose love, which is belief in yourself. That is a love-based feeling, over belief. Choose to love yourself. Choose to believe that you can do it, that you can make this choice, and that you have no idea what's going to happen as soon as you leap off of that ledge. You have no idea if it's going to be the most amazing free fall in the world, or if you're going to be grabbing onto your gear like I did. I've got a big old rug burn on my arm because I panicked. As soon as I leapt, you have no idea what's going to happen. What you do know is that at the end of it, you are going to be more confident because you did it. And that's where true confidence comes from. It comes from you having enough belief in yourself, belief in what's possible on the other side of that leap. That's where you get the confidence. The confidence does not come before the action. It doesn't. It absolutely does not. We cannot gain confidence from sitting around and wondering what it might feel like. That's not where confidence comes from. It comes from taking the action, from stepping off and into the unknown. And the conversation that I had with this coaching client, what we talked about was, okay, if I know that something is scary, I know that self-doubt is going to present itself, I know that I am fearful, I know that I'm about to stretch myself. Like, so many times we have the awareness that this is exactly what we're going through, and still doubt is winning. The worry is winning, the fear is winning. And so we struggle with this, and then we just want to push that part of us aside. And we don't have to let that side of us win, because you can shift into curiosity. Curiosity. If you feel like I can't fully muster the full belief in myself right now, like I really desire to love myself right now. I really desire to believe that I can do it. I so firmly want to, and yet it just feels like there's so much doubt getting in the way. There's all of these fears, all of these thoughts that are running through my head that are telling me you can't, you shouldn't. What are they going to think? What if you make a fool of yourself? What if you trip and fall? What if? If you have that going on in your head, shift into the next loving feeling. So if you can't get all the way to belief, that's such a high love-based feeling, shift into curiosity. Because curiosity is a loving thing. Shift into curiosity and invite yourself to wonder, what might it be like if I do this thing? And not only what might it be like if I do it, what would it be like if I failed? Like, what really might happen? What really could happen? What if I allow myself that feeling of failure? What could I gain? What is there that is possible for me to potentially benefit from actually doing whatever it is that you want to do? This can be as simple as, we can be so scared to even just write 5 lines of a book. Like, not even just a full chapter, not even a full book, but just 5 lines of a book. What if I have writer's block this morning and I can't write the 5 lines that I committed myself to write? Like, doubt can creep in the silliest little ways. Like, of course you can write 5 lines. There's every reason in the world for you to have the belief in yourself and the love in yourself for you to write those 5 lines. And yet you have all these things that creep in. Well, I need to check my email. I need to do this. I need to do that. Well, what if? All of these things will get in the way. Needs, not enough time. All of these sorts of things are actually fear in disguise, by the way. Those kinds of thoughts are actually fear and worry and disbelief disguised as things that you need to get done, because you don't need to check your phone and you don't need to check your email very first thing in the morning. I'm speaking to myself as much as anyone. These are things that get in the way of you doing the things that you know you can do, that you can believe that you can get done, that you can sit down and actually make it happen. But we don't, because we allow our fears to give us these little side tangents that get us busy and keep us from doing the thing that we want to do. So allow yourself to be curious. Invite curiosity. What if I go and I write those 5 lines and they suck? What if I just let myself let them suck? What might that be like? And then allow yourself to engage in the behavior. And then you get to do it. And then, oh my gosh, you just leapt. You just stepped off the bridge. You just went for it. And you didn't even realize that you were, because you were doing it with this open sense of curiosity and wonder and just being like, what might I be like? And so then you do it. It lowers the stakes, because the stakes can feel so high. And indeed, actually, the stakes are high. Like, are you living the life that you want to live? The number one regret of the dying is that I did not do all the things that I know I was capable of doing. The life that I came here to live, that is the number one regret of the dying. You can read Bronnie Ware's 5 Regrets of the Dying. I've talked about it on this podcast before. That is the number one thing. This woman interviewed hundreds of people, and that is what people said. I regret not living life on my terms. I regret not living up to my true potential, not using my gifts, not making the difference that I knew I could make in this world. And this podcast is here to help you untether from those things that are stopping you from stepping off that ledge and going into the unknown with curiosity, with wonder, allowing yourself to experience, allowing yourself to fail, because heck yes, failure, there are so many amazing lessons to be learned in failure. So allow yourself to be curious. Curiosity begets confidence. The most successful people are so curious. The most successful people are so decisive. It's like, not only are you curious, but you decide to take action on something just to see what's going to happen. How am I going to feel? What is it going to feel like when I go ahead and take this leap? Maybe I do make a total ass of myself. Who gives a crap? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares as much as you think that they do. So allowing yourself to take the steps to move forward, that's how you end up gaining the confidence. And that's how you step out of that fear-based crap. There's so much of it, and it's okay. It's okay. Again, we don't need to get rid of it. We just don't choose it, because you're always choosing. That's the truth. We are always, always choosing. We're either choosing to let the fear and the negative emotions win, or we're choosing to let the love and the positive emotions win. And the strongest energy always wins. Look at this. This is a lesson that I myself learned in the last 2 weeks. And my own mentor and friend was like, hey, did you know that the strongest energy always wins? And start looking around the world. Start looking around you and noticing, where is the negative, the strongest negative emotion winning, and where is positive winning? We live in this world where there is a lot of strong, powerful, negative emotion, and we're letting it win. We're letting it win by not choosing the strong, positive emotion, which is something like curiosity, which is love, which is fun, which is joy, which is going out and doing the cartwheel instead of being afraid of what people might think. Choose the strength, the power of that positive momentum, of that positive energy, of choosing to step off of the ledge. And that's where you gain the confidence. There's no confidence to be found in worry and fear and doubt. Like, why would we even spend time there? But we do. We do. And that gets to exist within your body. Worry, doubt, fear, they exist. They will continue to exist. So become their friend. Instead of being their foe, just meet them and be like, that's cool. I see that you're here. I see that you're here, and I'm going to take your hand, and we're going to step forward anyway. And we're just going to see what happens. And we're going to get to experience the result. And then, you know what? I'm going to get to gain some feedback from myself. Was this fun? Did I like it? Was this like little feeling of doubt? Was it right? You know, like we're not even allowing ourselves the experience so much of the time to even see, because we're letting worry and doubt and fear tell us how it's going to be. They don't know. They truly don't know. There's so many factors that come into play in any situation, in any decision. You really don't know unless, you know, you went to go jump off and you didn't actually have your bungee cord secured. Then you do know how that's going to go, right? But when you know you've got the checks and balances, like, girl, you've got the checks and balances. We have checked and we have balanced. And if you're at that point of worrying about something, you know there's something you want to do. Like you legitimately know, I want to start a podcast. I want to write a book. I want to get a raise. I want to be the CEO of this company. Like that is what I want to do. I want to start an employee experience program. I want to help people. I have these gifts. You know, you want to do it. You are a coach, but you want to go out and do it on your own. You don't want to be doing it within the system that you're doing it now. You don't want to be doing it for a company. You want to do it out on your own. You want to start your own business. You want to be an entrepreneur. There's something that you want to do. If you have been thinking this thought over and over and over, and a doubt has been creeping in that has been telling you that you can't, it is time for you to become friends with that doubt and be like, yo, buddy, cool. Let's like go have a beer together. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do because I've made a decision, and we can like cheers about this. Ting, ting. We're friends. And I'm going to make my decision, and I'm going to move forward and go do this thing, because there's so much possible for you on the other side of that. And that nudge is there for you for a reason. It is 100% there for you for a reason. And you are being unloving to yourself by not doing it, by not engaging in it, by not allowing yourself the experience of trying it. Truly, what do you have to freaking lose? We're on a rock that is just spinning through the universe. Like all we are is balls of energy. You are a spiritual being here to have a human experience. Let your spirit experience. Let it experience. And stop letting fear get in the way. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you don't have to be mad at fear, because anger is actually a disempowering emotion. Anger is not helpful. I mean, it's helpful in that it flags things to you. You feel very passionate about something and it's cool that it's there. But when you let anger win, that's letting the strongest emotion win. You're letting anger win. And that doesn't help to move you forward. Does being mad at something help you move forward? No. Acceptance, trust, belief, compassion, curiosity. Those are the things that help you move forward. So when you catch yourself being mad at something about yourself, being frustrated with something about yourself, that's okay. It's part of who you are. It's part of the human experience. And you get to shift into a more positive emotion. And I know that this can take some muscle reps. It truly does. Catching yourself is the first step. If you can catch yourself in a moment of being so frustrated with yourself, that is a huge win. Like applaud yourself, actually clap your hands. Like you're like bringing Tinkerbell back to life. That is an amazing moment when you catch yourself having one of those emotions, when you're like, oh, there I am, doubting myself again. Make it a game. Make it a game. Life is a game. What else are you here for except to play this amazing game and to help shift this negative energy? Anybody who's listening to this podcast, if you were to the point of even this far into this episode, you are a light bringer on this planet. You are meant to bring light. I am meant to bring light. You are meant to bring light. So many of us are. And if we're allowing ourselves to be pulled into this negative energy, we're not doing our job. The cool thing about the human body, we can transmute negative energy into positive. You can take negativity and you can shift it You can decide, you can change, you can move, you can groove, you can have fun, even in a tough time. Laughter is such medicine, as I talked about in Tuesday's episode. Laughter. We can be having like such a negative experience and we can laugh at ourselves and be like, this is ridiculous. And it shifts into that hugely positive energy. And it's in that shift. Like, imagine you intentionally turning that dial, flipping that switch over and over and over. How empowering is that? How confident are you going to be when you start to catch yourself and you start to make that flip? And we can all be doing this more and more and more. I mean, this is my journey too. I'm just sharing with you the things that I'm experiencing and learning along my way. Nobody is absolutely perfect at this. And I don't even know if we're intended to be. Like, the further you go back to this question that we're answering today of like, does this ever go away? Do these feelings of doubt ever go away? No, because the stronger you get, the stronger the negative pull gets too. And I don't say that to like freak you out, but it's just true, because it's like resistance. If you're working out, like, the stronger you get, you've got to keep upping the ante of the equipment, because you need a little bit more resistance. And that's true as you learn and grow and experience too. That resistance, you need a little bit more, because your positive has got an equal negative. And so you're just moving and shifting, but you're stronger. You're stronger every single time. So I hold so much belief in every human being on this planet. I believe so much is possible for every single one of us. And still, I get trapped in doubt. I get trapped in fear. We all do. And I can hold so much belief for myself and others and still sometimes find myself getting tripped. And the same is true for you. And often we can hold so much belief for other people and we really struggle to hold it for ourselves. And that's when we look to others for support. That's why community is so important. That's why I coach, because I myself have benefited so much from receiving coaching from others, because sometimes it's just really hard to hold that level of belief for yourself. Every amazing athlete, every CEO that I've ever worked with, they all have coaches. They have executive coaches. Those people exist. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to have a community. It's okay to have support and people that are there to hold more belief for you, because as you know, as you grow, that, lack of self-belief, that doubt, they're still going to be there. So reaching out to people who can support you, seeking community, whether it's free communities, whether it's paid communities, whatever that thing is that is going to help you, listening to this podcast, because I do hold so much freaking belief in you. I know you can do it. Whatever that thing is, you would not be knocking on your door. That desire would not be there for you if it wasn't actually meant for you. It's a matter of you having the curiosity, loving yourself enough to step off that ledge and to just allow whatever is going to unfold. And that's terrifying. That's just as terrifying as me jumping off of a bridge with a bungee attached to my waist. Yes, it is that scary sometimes. It can feel like that. And that's okay. It's actually the thrill and the adrenaline that we get from doing something like that is so powerful. You have so much momentum after you do something like that. You feel like you could conquer the world. So why not give ourselves more opportunities to feel like we can conquer the world? The confidence comes after the leap. You can shift into belief before. You can allow other people to hold some belief for you. Those people that counted down 3, 2, 1, and then I jumped. When I have jumped without everybody there, they were like, okay, everybody count 3, 2, 1. And then I went. That's community. That's allowing yourself to be supported by other people who are there with you and they hold that belief for you. They know you can do it. You can do this. You really can. Truly you can. And I understand that it feels like maybe you can't. And that's okay. You can tell those people, I'm going to be your friend. Those people, the voices inside your head. I told you I've named my brain, right? Her name's Natalie, and she has a lot to say. She has a lot to say, and sometimes I have to just be like, okay, Natalie, not today, sister. So if it helps you, name your brain. Name your brain. For today's Thursday thread, breath, I invite you to breathe into curiosity. Allow yourself to get settled into your chair. If you're driving, please come back and do this recording at a later time or pull to the side of the road. Wherever you are seated, just drawing a deep breath into your nose and out through the mouth. As you continue to draw these halo active breaths into the nose and out through the mouth, seeing on those exhales if you can really allow yourself to settle in, drawing your awareness down to your feet on the ground. As you continue to breathe into your nose and out through your mouth, feeling that ground beneath your feet and noticing the support that's here for you. Noticing the support of that seat beneath you. And on an exhale, allowing yourself to get about 10% more comfortable. As you continue to draw that halo active breath into the nose and out through the mouth, inviting your awareness to settle on any physical sensations in your body. Maybe you notice the cool air as it is moving into your nose, the warm air as it exits out through your mouth. Maybe drawing your awareness down to your hands. Maybe noticing if they're clenched or balled and allowing those fingers to release and to relax. Just inviting yourself with curiosity to any other body parts that might be speaking to you, that might be clenched or tight. Or maybe you notice a tingling or warm sensation somewhere in your body. Without judgment, simply allowing yourself to explore and notice those physical sensations that exist within your body today. Moment by moment and breath by breath, noticing what is present and just being curious with what's here. Not asking any of these sensations to leave or to do anything, just simply becoming aware of their presence in your body. There you go. A couple more of these halo breaths, drawing deep into your nose, filling the belly. Full and complete exhales. Last one. Bringing your awareness now back to your feet, returning back to your natural breath, letting the body breathe itself. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes, bringing your awareness back to the present, to the here and the now. And when and only when you are ready, fluttering your eyes back open. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself by listening to this episode today, showing up to this breath practice with curiosity, allowing yourself to try something new. It means so much that you would listen to this episode, to this podcast, Untethered with Jen Liss. If you've enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to share it with a friend who might benefit from it. Take a little screenshot of the episode. You can share it on social media. Tag me, Untethered Jen. I will always share your posts if you tag me. Thanks again so much for listening. You just keep shining your magical unicorn light out there for all to see. I'll see you next time. Bye.